So, who needs a fancy bike stand when you've got a tree? That squeak's doing me head in, so I'm going to have to have a look so we can see what it is. Maybe, we'll see. Other bike stands are available. Alright, welcome back. Hopefully you will have seen the run video from the Great North Run this weekend just gone. If you've not, check it out. I'll put a link somewhere on the screen. Struggled with injury literally from the first step to the last. Knew it was going to be tough. The injury in part has stopped me from doing much training, but I have done some. But yeah, it was a tough old race, but glad I've got it done. Amazing race. 60,000 people is absolutely amazing to be part of that, and on such a somber weekend as well, with the passing of the Queen. It was touch and go on Thursday whether or not it would still go ahead, but it did. I'm glad it's out of the way now. But yeah, an amazing experience. 60,000 people, thousands and thousands of spectators, literally from the start to the finish. But I'm glad it's out of the way. Concentrate on the bike a bit more now. Right, so yesterday the new disc rotors and brake pads arrived. Gone for a set of Galfa this time. I heard very good things about them in terms of the performance and how long the pads last and how good they are at stopping. So I was quite excited to get those on the bike yesterday, only to come for a short ride and after bedding them in, a couple more rides into the ride and the back brakes squealing again. So I was really pissed off yesterday. I've asked a few people on the forums what it might be. Multitude of things which I've almost exhausted, short of bleeding the brakes. That's the only thing I've not done. I've checked the pistons are coming out on the calipers. They did seem a little bit stiff, but I've put some oil on them, cleaned them all down, checked them, and they do seem to be moving as they should be now, and I am still getting a little bit of squealing. So I don't really know what else to do. I think once I've been to the lakes in a couple of weeks, I'll take the bike into a local shop and see if I can get the brakes serviced and see if I can get to the bottom of it, because I've tried pretty much everything else that is within my remit short of bleeding the brakes, but there is no issue with the stopping power. There's no braking fluid leaking from the hose line, from the brake pads at all. The brakes, in fact, the new disc rotors and new pads are absolutely phenomenal in terms of stopping power, better than what I had on before, but there's still a squeal. And I've definitely bedded them in properly. A bit overkill really, but yeah, I'm mystified as to what else the issue could be, other than the brakes need bleeding or I've got an issue with a sticking piston. So we'll see. So I was hoping this might be a squeak-free video, and I was going to be able to big up Galfa brakes for how amazing they are and how much quieter my bike is, but that might not be the case. So you're going to have to persevere, I'm afraid, for a little while longer with a little bit of squeaky brakes here and then. So not as bad as they were, but not as good as I was expecting either. So just going to have a ride around a bit of the red, maybe head up to the bike park just for a bit of a leg stretch after Sunday's half marathon. Those of you that have seen it will have seen that I'm struggling with plantar fasciitis, and still am, and my heel when I walk on it, certainly on Monday morning after the race, I was in absolute agony. to get out of bed on my hands and knees. Got a little bit easier as the day went on. It's still quite painful, and the job I do, I'm on my feet literally all day as well, so there's not much rest. Throbbing a bit when I got in from work today. When I'm on the bike, it's not so bad. It's definitely bearable because the pressure's not on my heel. But walking, and certainly running, it's quite painful. I hear a bit of squeaking going on now, even though I'm pedalling uphill. Corners are drying out lovely now. There's just a few bits at the top where there's a bit of loose grit, but where these are hardened up, they're great. But this bit at the bottom is so unnecessary. I know we're coming out onto a fire road, but Jesus Christ, we're not joining the M1. Just going to be one of those squeaky rides. Looks like there's going to be a bit of resurfacing work done down here. Not quite sure why, but I'm sure there's a reason. So, who needs a fancy bike stand when you've got a tree? That squeak's doing me head in, so I'm going to have a look so we can see what it is. Maybe, we'll see. Other bike stands are available. Evening all.
How you doing?
Alright mate, you?
Are you just unpeeled? Lasts longer.
You doing alright?
Good, yeah, how'd you get on?
Yesterday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Agony.
Mushy foot, or is it translated to muscle injuries elsewhere?
It's just plantar, absolutely nailing me. Literally from the first step to the last, I was in agony. By mile 12, I thought somebody just ripped my foot in half. It's horrendous. So yeah, luckily I was off Monday, but I got out of bed Monday and I was on my hands and knees crawling to the bathroom. So it's easing a bit. It's still sore, but it's not as bad as it was. So.
Do the cutlass shoes help because they're quite firm, aren't they? Or like riding a bike? Like
riding's absolutely fine. Yeah. It's just walking and running. But running was just horrendous. The heel hitting the ground like that for 13 miles was just pure agony. Is that invisible body armour good?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll get some.
Catches balls. How you doing?
Alright mate, you?
You're getting some good height on that last jump now.
Yeah, comfortable with it now, at long last.
The pilot's license soon.
It never feels like you're quite that high, does it, when you're on the bike? But
Yeah. I think it's just because it's like the perfect trajectory, isn't it?
yeah. Right, it's 7 o'clock, lights fading fast, so time to head home. Quite enjoyed that, despite the squeaks. A few hundred laps of the bike park. Brakes seem okay. I think once I cool down, they'll be back to squealing again. Oh well, I'll just have to live with it for a while longer. Definitely not as bad as they were when I started the ride. Cheers for watching. See you in the next one. Probably can't see a thing on the GoPro, pitch black.